I am a Wiki mod for YouTube. I know, you don't have to tell me. I do it as a hobby, but that's not the importance of the story. I'm recording this today because I cannot keep it to myself anymore. We all know Wiki, the fanfare crap for every comprehensive thing under the sun. The other mods told me about an A&Kay YouTube channel that I had no idea about. Some couple stuff that somehow got popular on Twitter that I couldn't care less about. Well, guys, buckle in. A&Kay are two Mormon kids who lived in Salt Lake since the moment they were born. I suppose they thought the best way of making money was getting people to convert, saying how great their life was and what amazing parents they'd be, showing everyone what paradise they lived in from parents' wealth, and how great Mormonism was, with horrendous racism, while simultaneously placing multiple ads for a myriad of sham scams every 2.5 minutes into every uploaded video. That was until about 2017, August, when they stopped doing the couple vlogs altogether. They were promised to each other, but excommunicated from Latter-day and practiced Christianity apart. No Mormonism to be seen. The only way I can tell is because on the 24th of August 2017, Kay posted a video, alone, speaking to her followers that she was frightened. She mentioned that they'd been told to leave the church after having matching tattoos to show their love for each other. What really began to interest me was how alert she looked. She was shifty, wide-eyed. She said she heard knocking at the front door of their apartment, which was heard throughout her vlog. The reason I know it wasn't A was because he was in the background of her video, in the hallway, staring. It wasn't unnerving staring whatsoever. It was like a person who was waiting to speak, but didn't want to upset the stream of consciousness being blurted out by Kay. Like he would do wrong if he tried to talk. Yet Kay seemed like she wasn't aware of his presence at all, as if she'd never seen him standing awkwardly in the background even once while filming the video, which was clearly recorded on a laptop. A few days later, A uploaded a video. It was titled, "I Don't Know What to Do." It depicted him staring in horror at the camera in the shared laptop, crying as Kay slammed her head onto the ground, screeching out in agony for losing their child. I was horrified, seeing what I thought was a woman grieving after having miscarried her child. I mean, losing a child is horrendous, something I could never imagine the pain of experiencing. Not to mention the importance of family life within the Mormon community adding to that, with no one to turn to due to being excommunicated. Yet, A said nothing. He looked at the camera, silent, as Kay slammed her head onto the ground and wailed over and over again. Then the video ended, with nothing to add context to, without someone like myself having watched all the videos prior. Curiosity overwhelmed me, so I continued to watch. Kay made a video, titled "He'll Kill Me." She was convinced her husband A was going to kill her. A was present in the vlog, standing behind her with his head faced to the ground. She displayed a horrible set of black eyes and a bulging forehead. She claimed A had haunted her or had convinced an evil spirit to take her in her sleep. I didn't find it convincing whatsoever, having witnessed her in A's vlog pretty much brutalizing herself on the floor and against the mantelpiece and whatnot. It was clear she was suffering from some horrific mental illness accelerated by the loss of her child. Until she showed the ligature marks on her wrist. She claimed she was being held hostage by an entity in her sleep, one that berated her endlessly for being unable to carry a child. The twist was, A held a gene in which babies he fathered were more likely to experience heart problems, leading to her miscarriage. I'm not sure how much of this is true, as I am not a medical expert. This is only what Kay claimed. A continued to hold his head down. Kay said that it was his fault. He was absolute in having children, which would lead her to her death, that he made her this way. A began to slowly leave the room. Kay continued to ramble on and on about God, stating he had an interest in them and how she was chosen. When she mentioned her family name was a God-given name by the LTS, A slapped the camera and the video ended. A month later, A posted a vlog documenting Kay's fall into madness, how she cried and wailed for her mother, stating that A killed her baby and he would suffer in eternity for it. He looked horrified, frightened more than ever. Kay began to slam her head against the kitchen wall again, screaming for her child. She began to say she was in there and she needed to come out. She'd missed her due date. A began to scream back, screeching that their baby was dead. She didn't exist. But Kay was mad. Kay pushed A, and A pushed back. He pushed her right into the drywall. There was an empty cavity in the wall. She fell, hit her head, and crumpled right in. I've never seen something so raw and awful. A filmed his wife's body crumpled to the floor. He didn't cry. He simply posted it to YouTube. The death of his own wife, stuck between the floorboards, eyes wide open. I called the police having reviewed it, and they said A killed himself soon after, but no one came for their bodies. They died quiet, unknown deaths that had a clear solution and no consequences. This is the horrible truth. We have no control over other people's lives, yet we view them, we conceive of them, and then they go. I remember A&Kay, despite their tragedy. It is a fact that the internet will remove them from any archive whatsoever, until some YouTuber makes a video about their tragedy.